The 2026 NBA Draft Lottery concluded yesterday with the Washington Wizards coming away with the #1 overall pick. So I figured, what better time than to do my first NBA mock draft on this channel and my first NBA mock draft for this draft cycle. Getting right into it, man. Like I said, the Washington Wizards win the #1 overall pick. And the pick is oh so obviously AJ DeBonsta. Obviously, there's been some rumors of maybe Utah can trade a haul to get up to #1. I'm not really a fan of that. There's been some rumors that Darren Peterson is the guy that the front office wants. I'm not too sure of that, but today we just going off of vibes and we just going off of, what I think is going to happen. So I think AJ DeBonsta will be the #1 overall pick. Picking at #2 are the Utah Jazz. Now, obviously, like I mentioned, they want AJ. It is, pretty much known that they want AJ. But obviously, in this scenario, they do not get him. So, consolation prize, if you will, Darren Peterson. Darren Peterson at pick #2. I think he can fit seamlessly right next to Keontae George. And, that lineup of Keontae George, Darren Peterson, Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr., Walker Kessler. I mean, that sounds really appealing. And then coming off the bench, Isaiah Collier, Ace Bailey, Bryce Sensabaugh, Yusuf Nurkic. I mean, hey, that's a lineup right there. That's a solid, at least, next year, probably a play-in team, but that's a really solid lineup to go into the future with. Picking at #3, we have the Memphis Grizzlies. Cameron Boozer is obviously going to be the pick. There's, a pretty consensus top 3 here. So we're just going to, pick the bottom of the top 3, if you will. Cameron Boozer, I think, honestly, for the Grizzlies who shot up into the top 4, you're obviously going to be happy with this. Moving on to pick #4, Caleb Wilson will be the pick for the Chicago Bulls. Once again, another team who shot into the top 4. And if you're the Bulls front office, you are rejoicing for Caleb Wilson. I think he's going to be really good. I honestly think he will be a top 5, top 3 defender in this league when it's, in his prime. So you put him next to Modest Buzelis. You have Noah Senge coming back from injury. You had this new front office coming in, a new coaching staff coming in, man. The building blocks are building in Chicago, and I'm loving it. Pick #5, the Los Angeles Clippers. This is where the draft really starts for me personally. You have this slew of guards: Kingston Flemings, Michael Brown, Keaton Wagler, Darius Acuff, Braden Burries, all, in the 5 to 9 range. And, you look at the Clippers, obviously they just traded for Darius Garland. So I personally don't think that they go for a point guard. And in this scenario, that just leaves Keaton Wagler and Braden Burries. And, I'm really, really high on Keaton Wagler. And picking here at #5, I'm going to go ahead and go with Keaton Wagler. I think this is a perfect pick for the Los Angeles Clippers in this spot. And especially for them, getting the 5th pick and not going away to the Pacers in the top 4. Being able to come away with Keaton Wagler at #5, you're more than happy with that. And obviously, Kawhi Leonard, we got to figure out what we're going to do with him over the offseason. But as of right now, we have our guard combo of Garland and Wagler. Hey, we're happy. We're more than happy. Pick #6, the Brooklyn Nets, who fall in the draft lottery. Once again, slew of guards, really talented. You kind of can take your pick, and I think their pick will be Darius Acuff. I do think that he's the best point guard in this draft. So being able to come away with the best point guard in the draft at #6, I mean, that, shows the talent that's in this draft, A, and B, that's a really, really good prize for you, falling in the draft, being able to get the best point guard in the draft. Yes, they drafted like 10 point guards last year, but none of those really showed you, franchise guy flashes. So you come away with Darius Acuff, who can command an offense, can shoot the 3 ball, can shoot the mid range, can get to the rim, can get to the free throw line, a pretty typical NBA point guard. And I mean, you can't really ask for much more at the #6 pick. Now, at the #7 pick, we have the Sacramento Kings. I have some choices with Kingston Flemings, Michael Brown, and Braden Burries. I think that they're obviously going to look for a point guard. It's kind of been pretty known over, this last year or two that they want a franchise point guard. And if we're looking at Flemings and we're looking at Michael Brown, out of those two, I more so see franchise point guard and Michael Brown. So that's who we're going to go ahead and go with for the Sacramento Kings. Being able, offensively, can really, really shoot it. I think his playmaking is going to be really good at the next level. I think with his size, he can be a serviceable defender, especially with his wingspan sitting at, I don't know his wingspan. I think he's like 6'10 wingspan, sitting at 6'5. Can add a little weight, like probably a lot of players in this draft. Really, really good pick for Sacramento falling in the draft. And these teams that have fallen in the draft being able to get, the number one and number two point guards in the draft. I mean, hey, you can't, obviously you want, the top guys, but you cannot complain with getting the guard number one and guard number two in the draft. And then the Atlanta Hawks picking at number 8 with the New Orleans Pelicans pick from the Derek Queen trade. You come away with Kingston Flemings, who I personally think would be the pick for Atlanta, regardless, outside of the top 4. Obviously, if in the top 4, you pick the top 4. But outside of the top 4, if they got 5, 6, 7, I think they would go with Kingston Flemings. I think he perfectly fits with what Atlanta wants to do. 6'4", long wingspan, can shoot the 3 ball, can really, really defend coming out of Houston. I mean, hey, perfect fit for Atlanta at number 8. Number 9 with the Dallas Mavericks. Like I said, that 5 through 9 range is really, really mucked up with guards right there, and it's going to finish off mucked up with guards. Braden Burries is going to be the pick right here for the Dallas Mavericks. I think Jason Kidd, can help him with his on-ball abilities and can maybe bring him up as a point guard. But even if not, sitting at 6'4", at the 2 guard, a really, really stout defender, a dog, a real like glue guy, role player guy. I think a really good pick for Dallas, especially coming off of the Cooper Flag pick last year and the year that he's had. And, a lot of guys returning from injury, Kyrie Irving, Derek Lively. I mean, they could possibly make a play-in run next year. So we'll see how that goes. But I think Braden Berry is definitely the pick here. Now, pick number 10, the Milwaukee Bucks. There's like 100 ways we can go with this. We could go ahead. We're going to trade Giannis. We're going to start our new regime. And we're going to pick a young guy. And we're going to, start to build that out. We can say, hey, we're keeping Giannis. We're going to get a guy that can help us win right now. Or we can say, hey, we can bridge that gap. Pick a guy who can help us produce a little bit right now. Or when, if Giannis decides he wants to leave in a year or two, hey, this is still our guy. It's still our young guy. And I think that's the option I'm going to go with here. You have Nate Ament, who will probably be the young guy that I would go with if that was the option. Obviously, Yaxel Lindenborg, if they were to go with, hey, let's go win now, Yaxel would be the pick. But I think LeBaron Fallon Jr. is the pick for the Milwaukee Bucks. You get a really, really good, really solid point guard. Can, run the pick and roll with Giannis, can shoot the 3 ball, can play make a little bit. I mean, hey, that's a really good pick for Milwaukee, If Giannis wants to go, hey, we have our point guard of the future. And obviously, you still have Ryan Rollins. So I think, they can play together. They can play behind each other. That guard rotation in Milwaukee is really, really looking good if you go ahead and pick LeBaron Fallon Jr. here. And I think that is what they should or are going to do. Pick number 11, the Golden State Warriors. Once again, another team where it's like, hey, are we going to go for a guy? Let's go win now. Are we going to go for a guy that we can breed, for Steph Curry, for after Steph Curry? Is this a pick that we're going to trade to go and get a star? A lot of things to think about here in Golden State. But I think that, I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I don't know. I really don't know what direction the Warriors are going to go in this scenario. But I think you can go Yaxel here, a real switchable defender. Can play the 3, can play the 4, can play a little bit of small ball 5, which works in Steve Kerr's system. If he can be able to knock down some 3 balls, that obviously is going to be really good for them. And I think it gives the Warriors a guy, we're going to go win now. I think that's what the front office has said. Like, hey, we want to win with Steph Curry. We want to try for him again. I'm going to be real. I do think they're going to trade this pick, but if they don't, I do think they go win now. And I do think they go with the Yaxel here. Pick number 12, unfortunately, the Oklahoma City Thunder have another lottery pick. And I mean, I think that they're probably going to go the young route. Could they reach on a Nate Ament? I don't know. Could they reach on a project like that? Could they go with Jaden Quaintance? I don't know. Could they go for Bennett Sturts? Could they, go for Morris Johnson? I don't know. Let me think. Let me think a little bit. Obviously, you take a look at their roster. Shea, got that. J-Dub got that. Casey Wallace got that. Caruso got that. Dort, I think he has a team option coming up this year. Maybe he's expendable. At the 4, you obviously have Chet, Jalen Williams, Kenrich Williams, Isaiah Hardenstein. I think his contract is up this year. So I think that you probably go center here. And the best center on the board at this point would be a Dave Mara. But does that fit OKC's style? I don't know. I think Jaden Quainance probably fits OKC style a little bit more. Being able to be mobile and be a defender, can switch out on the guards, can, play high pick and roll, can do a lot of things defensively, and on the offensive end, just set good screens, catch lobs, boards, just do the dirty work, and you don't have to ask for him to do too much. So right here, I picked number 12. I think OKC goes with Jaden Quainance. Obviously, he's coming off of his ACL injury, but I think he should be ready to go on day 1. At pick number 13, we have the Miami Heat, a team with a lot of questions, a team with a lot of directions, but I think the direction they go here is Bennett Sturts. I think that Tyler Hero is pretty much gone from this team, and in terms of their point guard, there's not really much there. So I think that they go and get Bennett Sturts. We know Pat Riley's not going to tank, so why not go get the steady 6'4" point guard that can defend, can shoot the 3 ball, can command an offense a little bit, and, just kind of build from there with whatever you get from a possible Tyler Hero trade. Now, the last pick in the lottery, the Charlotte Hornets, going back to that center position, I think this is the perfect spot for Ade Mara here. Being able to, play make the way that he does, being able to be a shot blocker like he is, a really good rebounder. Obviously, he can't really stretch the floor right now. Maybe he can in the future, but that doesn't really fit the Hornets style per se. But I think they go best player available there in terms of their fit. And I think the best center on the board at that point is Ade Mara. Now, right outside the lottery at number 15, we have the Chicago Bulls. We're going to kind of go through this last bit a little bit quicker now that we are out of the lottery. I think they're going to go big, and the next best big, I believe, is Hans Steinbach. I think he can stretch the floor a little bit. I think his rebounding is going to really, really translate to the next level. So that's a good get for the Chicago Bulls right there. Now, the Memphis Grizzlies. I think Nate Ament is like the obvious pick here, actually, like really, really obvious. You take the high upside on a 6'10" guy who can get to the free throw line. Field goal percentage was a little bit, he's got to get stronger with the ball. He's got to get stronger going up on layups and stuff. But I think you take the chance on this high upside pick right here at 16. Oh, the Thunder coming back around at number 17. Like I said, a lot of options that they could go, but I really like Dalen Swain here. I'm really, really high on Dalen Swain. And like I said, Lou Dort. Are they gonna pick up his team option? Even if they do, like what's the move after that? I think Dalen Swain can really come in and be like not the next Lou Dort, but I think he could be probably a better offensive version of Lou Dort. He can take it off the dribble a little bit. Obviously, he can get a 3-point percentage up and his 3-point attempts up, but defensively, he's really good. I think that's a good pick for Oklahoma City right there. At pick number 18, we had the Charlotte Hornets coming back up once again. Draft is starting to slim out here. A little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I think Charlotte's gonna go Kareem Lopez. I've only watched a little bit of Kareem Lopez, but I do really like what I have seen. I think that he could probably be a replacement for Miles Bridges if you decide to move off of that. I think he's probably the most expendable in this lineup right now. I think you can put Kareem Lopez in at the 3, at the 4, and he can defend a little bit. He can play make a little bit. If obviously you can get his shot for a lot of these guys, if you can get his shot, shot a little better, I think that he can be really good. And especially for Charlotte and their system, I think he can work. I think he can work next to LaMelo and those guys. Now, pick number 19 for the Toronto Raptors. I think the pick obviously here is a guard. Now, looking at the guards, Braylon Mullen, he's going back to school. Looking at the point guards, you got Christian Anderson, Tyler Tanner, Ibuka Okore. I don't think Malik Thomas is a point guard. Why do they keep? I don't think Malik Thomas is a point guard. I think he's a 2 guard. Anyways, point guards, Christian Anderson, Tyler Tanner, Ibuka Okore. it's gonna be a little different. I'm gonna go Ibuka. I fucking love Ibuka. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love this dude. Offensively, he can go. He can go. He can do it at all three levels. And I think he has like a 6'8", 6'9" wingspan. So that fits. That fits Toronto's, lengthy team that they already have. And with his offensive ability, I think that he can be a primary ball handler, a pick and roll ball handler. But, Toronto is a lot of, pass and cut offense. So I think he can fit right in, being able to shoot the three. He already gives them so much on that Toronto Raptors roster. Picking at number 20, we have the San Antonio Spurs. We have a lot of options here. I think you can probably go upside here with Koa Pete. Now, obviously, he can't shoot a lick, can't hit the side of the bar. But he's young. You can develop him. I think you just kind of go high upside here with San Antonio. There really isn't much of a win now. Not really much of a win now like we need right now. So I think that's what you go with. Now, this pick right here, I hope Detroit don't fuck this up. I really, really hope Detroit don't fuck this up. I love Cameron Carr here. Absolutely love Cameron Carr here. I'm super high on him. I made a video on him, I think about a month or two ago. If you want to check that out, go look at that. But Cameron Carr, man, really, really good. Can shoot the three ball really well. 6'5", I believe, 6'10", 6'11" wingspan, really lengthy, can defend. Like I said, can shoot the three ball, can put the ball on the floor, can shoot the midi, can get to the lane, super, super athletic. And even like if you want to go Kay Cunningham and he sets the screen, he's a lob threat, like, oh my, hey, if Detroit fucks this up, man, I will be mad. I will be so mad if Detroit fucks that up. Coming in at number 22, we have the 76ers. I think right here, you know what? No. Can I go back? Nah, fuck it. Christian Eck Jr. here. I was gonna pick Morris Johnson, but I do think Christian Eck is probably a better choice because he can stretch the floor with Joel Embiid, and he can rebound the ball the way that he can. So maybe Christian Eck Jr. is the pick here. My bad. Maybe Christian Eck Jr. is the pick here. Pick number 23, we have the Atlanta Hawks coming back once again. Who do we pick for them earlier? Kingston Flemings. Right. Kingston Flemings. And I think Isaiah Evans can go here. 6'6", can shoot the piss out of the ball, is a really good cutter, lengthy, can be a solid defender at the next level. I think sitting there at 23, I think they go with the shooting because I do think it is needed in Atlanta. Pick number 24 with the New York Knicks. What's going on at the center for the New York Knicks? What's going on? I believe Mitchell Robinson, yep, it's the last year of his deal. I mean, man, all of the kind of shot creating like wings and guards are kind of off the board at this point. I think you go Morris Johnson here. I think you go Morris Johnson, a real energy guy, can, kind of pick up hopefully where Mitchell Robinson is going to leave off in offensive rebound category. But I mean, hey, I think this is a really good pick right here for New York. Pick number 5 with the Los Angeles Lakers. They need shooting. Where is shooting? Where is shooting? Where is not a lot of shooting? Not a lot of shooting on this board right now. Like I said, Braylon Mullins, he's going back to school. Christian Anderson's still here. We'll just go Christian Anderson. Obviously, I would love for them to be like get a wing that can shoot the ball, but I mean, hey, I think he's obviously best player available here. You get Christian Anderson, can shoot the ball, can come off the bench behind Luka, and I mean, hey, you're not mad at that. You are not mad at that at all. At pick number 26 with the Denver Nuggets. Once again, another team that I would love to go point guard. And I mean, shit, they're calling him a point guard. Why not go get him? Malik Thomas, shot creator, can get to a bucket. Like I said, I don't really think he's a point guard, but maybe you can bring him to be a point guard and kind of, replace Jamal Murray if you were to get rid of him this year. Pick number 27 with the Boston Celtics. I think that Where is he? Not Ngongba. What's his name? Badunga. I think you go and get Flory Badunga. If he doesn't go back to school, I think this is a Flory Badunga pick right here. Nemez Keita was really good for you this year, but I think you go get Flory Badunga and you can kind of make Nemez Keita expendable, or you can sit him behind Nemez Keita because Vucevic was not very good after you traded for him. Luka Garza had some sparks, but I mean, is he really a center of the future? Not really. So you can go get Flory Badunga, get him on a rookie contract, and it kind of makes that center position a little bit more expendable. Here at pick number 28 for the Minnesota Timberwolves, you go get Bones Highland, you trade for Ayo Dosunmu. I think you're okay in the point guard category. So, no point guard. I think shooting guard, maybe Yesufu. Maybe Yesufu's here. If Dame Sarr was in the draft, boy, that would be a home run right there. I think, yeah. I think Yesufu is the pick. Ooh, or Mari Allen. I'm gonna go Mari Allen. Freshman, 6'8", really good defender, really lengthy. His shot is probably projected to be a little bit better. So we're gonna go with Amari Allen there at pick number 29. Cleveland. I think this is where Yesufu goes. I think it's one or the other. If Minnesota goes with Yesufu, then Cleveland gets Amari Allen. If the other way around, Yesufu is going to go to Cleveland. Being able to be a defender, I don't think he's like the point of attack defender that you would want. But out of the two options of Amari Allen and him, I think that's probably the best option on the board right now. And finishing out the first round of the NBA draft, the Dallas Mavericks from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to go here? Looking at the board, he's also going back. I think Ngongba's going back. Joshua Jefferson, I don't really think you go after him especially when he got, did he get hurt late in the year? He got hurt late in the year, I think. I like Tyler Tanner a lot. Let's go Tyler. Let's go Tyler Tanner. Let me just do one more little, go through of this talent. Yeah, we'll take a flyer on Tyler Tanner. Obviously a smaller guard, but I think he can be a pretty solid defender at the next level. He's gonna get picked on, but I think he takes the challenge defensively. And we saw, he's really able to get on-ball steals, get off-ball steals. He's able to be serviceable on that end, at least at the college level. And I think you can hope in Dallas that can translate. But that right there is my first round mock draft. Let me know in the comments how y'all feel about this mock draft right here. This is my first time going through all this, so give me a little bit of slack. But if you guys enjoyed that video, man, make sure you leave a like, sub up, man. Plenty more draft content, playoff content, just hoops in general. It's gonna be on this channel, man, so you don't want to miss out. I'll see y'all next time.